St. Rocco's is essentially our commitment to prioritizing, our dog's health and happiness through the gourmet foods, treats, meal enhancers we make.
Welcome to Life Unleashed,
the podcast all about creating the best life for you and your furry best friend.
If you're a dog mom on the go, juggling life, work, and the endless joys of being a dog parent, then you're in the right place. I'm Dani.
And I'm Nick.
And together with the incredible dog mom community from Tails Up Pup, we're here to share advice, stories, and the obsession we have over the love for our dogs.
Get ready to laugh, learn, and lean on each other because life with your dog just got even more awesome.
If you're a pet parent, then you understand the desire to feed your dog healthy and nutritious foods. After all, a healthy dog means a happier dog, and more importantly, it means longer here on Earth with us. That's why these two brothers set their eyes on one goal: to create a dog treat that shows the appreciation for a dog's loyalty and love with human-grade ingredients. Today, we learn how these two brothers embrace their life's unexpected twists and turns and use their passion for entrepreneurship and family history to create a successful small business. So welcome, Kolby and Kaleb, to the Life Unleashed podcast.
Thank you for having us. We're excited to be here.
Yes, thank you for coming on.
So the first question that I wanted to ask you, because obviously we're a married couple, I wanted to know, what is it like working with your brother?
I can start with this one. Honestly, I always tell people, because I feel like the traditional belief is like, oh, don't go into business with family. It definitely blurs lines a little bit in your life. There's no doubt. But for us, it has definitely not been that negative feeling that so many people speak about. Honestly, I think it's been really positive, because there is no stone unturned, I guess, for lack of a better term, right? Like, I know him just about as good as I know myself. Obviously, we're all striving to better understand ourselves every day, but I feel like I know Kaleb and his passions, his interests, where he wants to take his life just as good as I know myself. So, if I see him doing things that I don't believe are aligned to the company or not aligned with where I want to take things, there's no reason I won't address that directly. Where if you have a partner who is maybe, a strategic partner or a friend, sometimes a little bit more drama can sneak in there rather than with a brother. I'm always going to love him. He's always going to love me. But as partners, we've got to be straight shooters with each other.
So what is the age gap between y'all two?
I'm years old. Yeah, I'm 24, 2 years.
So is there any dynamic, like the whole older brother thing going on there, or not really?
It's interesting. So, starting from a young age, Kolby and I were very close brothers, I'd say, thanks to my parents. I mean, they, instilled in us to respect and love each other kind of wholeheartedly. And we've carried that to this day. So, the age gap thing, there's nothing really older brother, younger brother. But it's really fun to, I don't know, go through the day-to-day struggles and as well as achievements alongside your brother. We have a lot of differences. We're two opposite people. But, through the love and respect, we really mold well together, I think.
Yeah, I think the difference is, we were talking about this earlier, if you don't have any differences, then you guys aren't bringing something different to the table and strategic. So I think the differences really help if you guys know what those are and work together well that way.
Absolutely. I mean, I feel like it's going to be a never ending, trial and error to understand exactly where we both fit in. But it's come together pretty well so far. I'm a little bit more of the details person, and Kaleb, assists me by, I guess, thinking bigger, having a grander vision, and, a lot of independent thought that he brings to the table, where sometimes I'm more of like a straight line thinker. So there's definitely been that nice balance so far that you speak of. Yeah.
Before you guys got into business together, did you have a lot of pushback from friends or family or anybody saying do not go into business together or anything like that, or no pushback?
Yeah, really no pushback on that end. I'd say we had a unique start to our business. We really didn't look at, this opportunity, especially early on, as, oh, we're ready to commit full time to this. It was more or less a pipeline dream that we had. We saw issues. We had unique insight to the industry from, our father and his family's history. So we really didn't ask anybody about anything. We kind of just hit the ground running. And again, all of our talks early on were just, it was, in that dreamy mindset of, oh, what if we could do this? What if we could do that? So we really didn't care about anyone else's opinion, and we just wanted to, build something on our end.
I think you brought up two really cool things that we want to talk about. So I guess first we should just start with your story of how did you get here? What made you want to start this dog treat company? And I mean, y'all are so young. So to have this thriving business at such a young age, I'm so interested to hear how you got here.
I love that. I mean, I think our stories are both a little different if we both want to share. Do you want to start, Caleb?
No, you can start.
All right.
And then I'll go next.
Well, I mean, for me, we were both in college, but I was a junior in college when COVID hit. So I've always had a passion for achieving things in life, specifically professionally. I did always have a feeling that I wanted to make an impact on the world with my work. So junior year, COVID hits, I lose my internship. I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm not going to get any good finance jobs. I was a finance major. So I knew that other kids from my network were already had internships lined up the year before. So their resume looked good and mine just looked flat, to be honest. And I was like, okay, we got to do something. Nothing really came to us. It's several weeks where none of the teachers really knew how to teach in a virtual world yet. So school was kind of non-existent, but, we were watching TV shows, I was reading books, I was listening to business podcasts, and I always had this, passion for entrepreneurship because of our dad. And I would say for me, the initial spark of wait a second, there might be something here was, we were all, everyone was gardening and doing outdoorsy stuff for COVID. We were at a local garden store in our area, and they had a pet section. And I was looking through the treats with my dad, which we often did. I mean, his full-time job was manufacturing dog treats. So we were just looking through, and it was shocking to me, not only the resemblance of products I've been a part of making, working for him during our childhood, but then also the fact that a lot of them were not coming from local places. I mean, Colorado or large companies. And I was like, this is funny. I can't imagine there's not a market just in Bucks County, something tiny, for people buying locally made, high quality and, fair price treats. And spent some time with our dad crafting recipes, and the rest is kind of history from there. But that's kind of how I led into things, was this passion to build something, and then having, that background and then that kernel of an idea.
It really seems like if COVID would not have happened, you might have just continued down that finance route and, gone that way versus looking for other options. Is that about right?
Oh, 100%. And I always am so thankful that, I mean, it was a terrible, tragedy what occurred, but what a unique opportunity in life that, we rarely get, in the form of a pause, a massive reality check, a massive pattern interruption where, okay, your life's going to completely change what's left. And yeah, I don't know if that would have happened, if I would have found this love, this passion for entrepreneurship and for, serving the dog industry. I don't know. And I'm so thankful.
So Caleb, you must have been a freshman then at this time, right?
Yeah, so I was a freshman at Temple University up in Philadelphia. We got sent home, and I was just, part of me was happy to be out of school. Part of me was a little bit bored. I was really filling my time with, nothing of meaning, playing a lot of Fortnite with my friends, things of that nature. So, ultimately growing up, learning from my father, I always was like, oh, I want to take over what my dad did. Everybody always not made fun of us, but they were like, "Oh, that's weird. Your dad sells dog treats." And I was like I fell in love with it. I loved it. And then, I had to go to college, and I quickly drifted out of that mindset and was more looking in like the insurance route. I was interested in sales. I love people. I love talking to people. So that's where I went. And then COVID hit, and Kolby really came to me with this idea, and it all hit me, and I just fell in love with it, and I was like, I think there's this void in the market, and I think nobody has a solution for it. And I thought it'd be an amazing resume booster. I thought it'd be something fun to do. We know a lot about the processes of making products. And I've always been like a creative, enthusiastic dreamer. So when it came the idea of building my own business, I was all in. And it was all just like a pipe dream for me. All I got to do was create and make. And, I fell in that space and just loved the idea of it.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like if you're a dreamer, starting your own business is a very good way to like put those things out into the world and to chase something different. And I guess with COVID lining up with that, you had a good excuse to go chase something else. Because it's like, well, do I really want to go and do school virtually and that type of stuff? Might as well go start my own business and see.
Exactly.
So you keep mentioning your dad and the dog treats. So what exactly is that like? Your dad worked in the dog treat business, which inspired you. So what was he doing, and how does that affect what you're doing now? And does he still do what he did? Just give us all the background, I guess, on your dad and you and the differences and all that.
Yeah, so I think originally it really started with my grandfather. He, and to this day, Poppy is still Poppy. He's an awesome individual. We love him, but he started out, as a butcher. So he was making, he owned a butcher shop up in a couple areas, and he was always just a hustler. He works very hard. He's, a lot older now, and there's not a day where he's still, working all day, every day. But he was a butcher, and he kind of ventured into the dog chews world, making, getting venison bones and getting big dog chews for the puppies. And ultimately, that was like a family business that my dad joined up after high school, worked very hard for a lot of years. And then it developed, and my dad got into the space of private manufacturing. So his role was to really create products, meat-based dog treats. And then, bigger brands would private label that product, and, they'd take it to market. And, our father he builds amazing treats, and he's an amazing craftsman, but that's essentially what he was doing in his background. I don't know if you want to add on to that a little bit.
Yeah, I think I could piggyback on it a little bit. So, Kaleb and I, based on the experience our grandpa had, and then our dad definitely had a unique childhood, high school work experience. You typically get, your standard high school jobs. Well, we were working at a pet food manufacturing plant on the line. So that's definitely not standard. But it was certainly really interesting to see that side of it. Manufacturing being as difficult as it is, it was fascinating to see how they went about scaling up that business and running that business. And then on the other side of it, understanding that, okay, this package that I'm now looking at in, some large retail store, this package, it's now, in a different brand's packaging, but, we know where it was made, we know who it was sent to, and then who distributed it. Understanding and seeing maybe the first step, if you will, of that layered industry was pretty fascinating and eye-opening for us. But I'd say in more of an emotional sense, it was just pretty amazing to see our dad take something that was nothing. He started it when we were kind of old. It was, I was probably like 10, like late elementary, middle school age when he started it, to build it to what it was when we were in high school was fascinating. And I guess it just showed me that when you put your mind to something, you can build something in the world from nothing. And that was a big thing, part of it for me.
That's so cool that you had him to like look up to and that he was able to, make such a big name for himself. That is just super inspiring.
Yeah, when you guys were on the line, did you have any idea that this would be something that you would go into, or it was just like because you talk about like these lessons that you've learned during this time, which I'm assuming have really helped you guys out in your business now. But in the moment, did you have any clue that this was going to be something that you guys would go into, or there was no thought in your mind?
I'll be honest. I think we both had thoughts there. That's great. I'll be honest. I did always, like when I was working there, I would always be like, okay, how can I make this better? Like I would envision like how would I automate this system? How would I improve it? So I do think from that job, I got this sense that like operations, like finances, I always like to understand like, how much is stuff costing? How much are people making? Like I do believe that some of that was sparked from that time on a manufacturing line for 6, 8 hours where you're just thinking essentially. So
Yeah, for me, it was almost the complete opposite. Working on a line, and anyone who worked in an industrial manufacturing facility could resonate. It made me realize like what I don't want to do. And I think, learning from our father and just seeing, like Kolby mentioned, his work ethic and his dedication to his craft and just trying to build something, that's where I kind of resonated more. I was like, okay, I definitely don't want to work on a line in 20 years when I'm 30 years old. So just it instilled in me that I've got to work hard. I've got to find, where my path is in life and just, roll with that. So all I remember is I did not love, walking into that place every morning, but we learned so much from it. It was awesome. I have a cool story early on in starting St. Rocco's. We actually, so my father ended the business a little bit before we started St. Rocco's and COVID hit. And, we came to him with this idea and he was busy doing, other work for, his own career. But he was like, I think this is an awesome idea, kind of helped us create a product. And then, for the next 6 months, it was Kolby waking me up at 6 a.m. and we were just doing everything from making the treats, getting one order maybe every other week and delivering it. And it was just, making the packaging, building the story. And I remember about 6 or 8 months in, I received a phone call from my dad, and he was like, "Hey, give me a second. I'm adding someone to the call," and he added Kolby, and I was like, "All right, what are we doing here?" And he just, he was like, "Listen, I just want to say how proud I am of you too, creating something out of nothing." And essentially, he just went into saying, I'm your father. I have a lot of experience in this industry. I didn't realize how dedicated you were to building something. And from that moment on, he was like, listen, I'm here for you guys, whatever you need. He's like, you guys know what you're doing, but I can help in ways to help you grow. And from that point on, it was just an amazing feeling inside, like knowing that, dad's proud of us. And it just felt, I had that feeling of this is just the beginning of something really special. And it was that was the fun little story. So
Yeah, having your dad believe in you like that from the beginning is super big. I know for us, when we started, we did not have that support. Kind of our parents were the opposite. Like, what are you guys doing? Because we came out of college, both had degrees, both had jobs in our field. And we're like, yeah, we quit those jobs to start this. And they're like, oh no, what are you guys doing? So having that support from your dad in the beginning is probably, that's huge. Yeah.
And that probably just like pushed you to keep, going forward. And so like, who is St. Rocco's today? What have y'all become now? I feel like we've talked about all the steps to get here, but who are you? What sets you apart from other dog treat companies, and why are your treats the best? Like, I know that they are because we use them in our subscription box and they are by far like the biggest hit. But I want y'all to explain why.
I love it. I love it. You want to start, Gabe? I'll start, and then I know Colbs will follow up. St. Rocco's, to me, what we've built is, just to start, the name St. Rocco's. So that's named after the patron saint of dogs. It's an amazing story if you want to go research it. And what I view St. Rocco's as, that name especially, it's really a commitment Kolby and I had early on. We all know that dogs, especially nowadays, are furry kids, we call them. They are, they give so much love and loyalty to humans. They're, just so good to us. And St. Rocco's is essentially our commitment to prioritizing, our dog's health and happiness through the gourmet foods, treats, meal enhancers we make. We were just really disgusted with how we fed our family, and we want to do better at St. Rocco's. There's a higher standard that needs to be held. You shouldn't be taking waste and feeding that to your dog. And that was really our commitment through St. Rocco's, and that's who I believe we are today. From my perspective, I guess, just to paint a little bit more of like an actual operations picture. Right now, we're fortunate to actually operate our very own 3,500 square foot facility, where we're from raw material to finished treat, frozen entree, meal topper, handling each step of the process. The treats and the sprinkles, it's about a 48-hour artisan process. The food is fortunately a little slower, a little quicker, because there's not that big cook time. It's around 24 hours all in. And we have a team, an awesome team of 14 full-time team members, making the products, packing them, fulfilling them across to, we have over 400 wholesale partners. We have amazing direct-to-consumer customers. Folks can actually visit our kitchen. It's a transparent, open concept, so you see our production from start to finish. And then, of course, we're going to lots of farmers markets, community events. We love going to dog agility trials, dog shows. So that's kind of what the business actually looks like. And it is so much fun. I mean, we're speaking to you in our little corner office here that would more so resemble a closet, but it is so fun. We're intertwined with the entire team. It really is a family that is hoping to serve, our furry family. So it's great.
That's amazing. Y'all have grown so fast and into something that, is so, so cool. I love your mission and what you guys are set out to do. And I agree. We need to be feeding our dogs something better than just scraps. And it's so important to give them a healthy and long life.
And for anyone that's actually watching this right now, they have this map behind them that has like these push pins, and the entire Northeast is covered. It's basically every push pin represents a store. And I think it's just incredible. I love keeping that record and, showing the growth of it. And just being able to look at it is pretty impressive.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We definitely needed some decor, and a better decor than something to push you on those long days. So thank you.
To clarify, y'all kind of have 3 different types of products. Then you have actual foods like food toppers and treats. Is that correct?
Yep, that's exactly right. So the treats are fantastic, like jerky style, high value train and treat. Crumb free, easy to break texture. The sprinkles are a pretty irresistible meal topper. We've been able to, get some real picky eaters to finally enjoy mealtime again. And then the entrees are exciting. That's a 10 ingredient, gently cooked food. What we're trying to do there is, essentially home cook folks' dog food for them. Right now, we're just shipping it regionally. So Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, New York, Delaware. Hopefully with time, frozen shipping is definitely a difficulty for us, but we're working on
getting better and better at it.
So how has, you said you have a 3,500 square foot kitchen? How, because I guess you guys were cooking all of this stuff like in a home kitchen before that, right?
Yeah, we got mama kicked us out quick.
So how has like the industrial I mean, has that changed? How much has that changed y'all's business from cooking at home in mom's kitchen to that?
There's really, it's a completely different product. I would even go as far to say if you've tried us 3 years ago when we just started, we're a completely different product and business. We've grown so much and learned so much over the time, just through product development, hearing, our customers and what they say about the product, and then implementing some things to just make it better and better day by day. It's developed a lot.
It certainly didn't happen overnight, right? We were, kicked out of our personal home just for very logical reasons. You can't make too many meatloafs without it smelling up the house. Then the next step, we were actually really, really fortunate and blessed. Our aunt and uncle, they lived like 10 minutes from us. They had a separate kitchen in it was a centralized barn, and they again just had another home kitchen, but they didn't utilize it. It was there kind of if they had like events or gatherings, stuff like that. Like we would go there for Thanksgiving, for instance. So that was super, that was huge. But then again, we kind of started to make too many treats there. And then we were able to partner with a local butcher shop. They had space that wasn't being utilized. So it was kind of scratching and clawing to see this kitchen become a reality. And I guess, for maybe folks that are listening that are kind of in those stages, the scratching and clawing, you just got to take it one day at a time, because if you told me 3 years ago where we'd be now, I'd be like, okay, yeah, like who invested in us? Did we get on Shark Tank? But like, no, I mean, it was just really honest, like day to day, let's get a little bit better. Let's meet somebody new. Let's, improve this process. And it's been crazy to see how that's grown.
Yeah. So did finding each of those different kitchens that just came through like talking to people more or less, like, and I mean, did you tell them like of your struggles, or were you like going to these people like, oh, I know that they have a space and I'm trying to like get in there?
Yeah, I think we went back and forth a lot. It was definitely a struggle. Growing out of, our uncle's kitchen, that was, we had to get out. We had to find a solution. So all we knew was we know there's commercial kitchens around our area. And it was tough because we didn't have a lot of money to just, throw around and, essentially give people to use their space. So we had to be really creative and find a good solution, because at that time we were a hobby, selling a couple treats, had a couple partnerships with stores, and we were still trying to find and navigate where St. Rocco's can be successful in the market. So I would say we got lucky, but it was definitely trial and error. I know we met with various commercial kitchens, seeing how much it would cost, and they were very pricey, so we had to navigate and figure out a better opportunity just that fit what the situation we were in at that time.
Yeah, and it's funny, kind of like an admission of your weaknesses or being open to the problems you're facing. It's funny how the world kind of seems to shift around you to present solutions, or at least stepping stones to solutions, when you're just transparent, genuine, like here's what we're dealing with, we're looking for solutions, and you go at it hard. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of luck. There's no doubt.
Yeah, sometimes the constraints that you have like actually force you, like you said, creative. It makes you become creative in trying to find these different solutions. And then when you're, open and transparent with people, sometimes the universe just says, this is the next step for you. And it seems like that happened for you guys.
You know what? You actually brought up a word, constraints, that is like absolutely on our mind a lot here, because, from the start, we were always cash constrained. Still are. That's probably not going to change for a long time. And that accidentally caused us to create our treat production process in a way that is pretty much unheard of. I mean, nobody in their right mind would go through the step-by-step artisan, handcrafted process that we have decided to do. But when it was day one, there was no other way to make a treat. We had no large machinery. We had no funds to get a large machine. And truthfully, we had no demand for if we could make a lot of treats. So we had to start with, okay, how can I make 7 pounds of treats? And then how can I make 70? And then 700? And making sure that with each step, we never compromised on quality has now landed us in a place where our products found use cases in the market that we never would have found without those constraints. So that's so funny you brought that up. And then honestly, those constraints really did enable us to be different. And I think give ourselves, an image of a brand, really.
Yeah, initially, I feel like we all think of constraints as being bad. It's like, we need more resources, we need more employees, we need more of these things. But sometimes it doesn't force you to be creative, and you would never have found out those things without the constraints. So I'm glad that you share that. That's really cool.
Y'all have accomplished so much in these 3 years, and you've grown from your mom's kitchen to this 3,500 square foot kitchen, and it's so amazing. And I'm just wondering, do you guys have any plans for the future? Are there things that you want to do? And how do you plan to expand and grow while maintaining this artisan handmade treat and food, all of the products?
I think there's a two-parter here. My part, more of the, brand growth and where we want to go. And then the business model, how to maintain that quality and freshness as we scale. Ultimately, I'm a dreamer. Kolby's, I think my personality has drifted off to Kolby as well. And he dreams big as well, too. And we know that we're solving a problem for a lot of families. And that feeling is it's so amazing, especially when I'm at an event, just seeing people, their gratitude for our product. And, we're just so thankful for them and actually to be able to help, them in their daily lives with their dog and their relationship with their dog. So I think it would be a complete disservice, to consumers everywhere not to try and grow as big as possible. And we do want to reach people all over America with these problems. Their dog doesn't eat. They have problems digesting food just because it's not good food for them. And I think it's the really cool part. We do want to be everywhere, but that goes into, our model and how we differentiate ourselves as we grow. And I want Kolby to definitely touch on how we're going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, right now, the hope that kitchen number one, 3,500 square foot, this is just the first of many kitchens. The intention for St. Rocco's is not to have a large manufacturing facility, but instead to ideally build out, a nationwide network of these artisan, transparent, open concept kitchens. So as for future plans, in the immediate future, there is a need for a second kitchen. So that's something that we're already working on, is the development of a second kitchen. I know that we're pretty passionate about the expansion of proteins that we offer. Right now, we offer chicken, beef, salmon. We are interested in cod, venison, duck. And then there are some creative things that we'd like to pursue as well in terms of, can we use our same process and make some sort of like a cheese treat? Can we make a vegetarian treat? Is there an opportunity for freeze dried in our business? Is there an opportunity for raw in our business? So it's really about listening to the customers, but then also, staying true to what we know are our strengths. But it's so exciting. It's kind of a blank slate. We can do whatever we'd like, hopefully in the service of people and their dogs.
Yeah, that's so amazing. And it's so cool that you listen to your customers, because I know that I found that a lot of times the customers think of something that I never would have thought of, and we wouldn't be here today with some of our best-selling products if it weren't for our customers giving us input on what they wanted to see. So it's super cool seeing that in your business as well.
And it seems like you guys are super committed to, no matter what path you choose, keeping the quality, making sure, that's not going to suffer. I love one of the things that you guys do on social where you go to the picky dogs, whatever, you're going to see if they'll take it. And they always always do. And it's because I'm sure that like they don't like some of the other treats they might have tried because they're not healthy for them and good. But the dogs seem to know the quality. So that's another testament to y'all.
Thank you. No, that is probably the best feeling ever. There's so many picky eaters. I mean, we're really developing these dogs to, eat better than we do, which is hilarious to me. But we have customers, especially at local events, and oh, my dog doesn't eat treats, or my dog's not food motivated, not super picky. And I usually am just like, listen, we're not a regular dog treat. Here's a little sample, take it home with you. And having that call back email, or just the person literally will run back from their car and say, what is that treat? It's such a cool feeling. Just that we're just making them how they should be made, and to see that actually resonate with the owners and they see a difference, it's the best feeling ever. So
Yeah, it sounds so cool. And you're physically seeing impact that you're having on these families and these dogs. And I mean, that just is priceless because it's really making what you're doing. And I know you're probably putting in long hours and so much work and you have struggles, but when you see those moments, that just makes it all worth it because you know that you're truly making a good impact on these families, which is super cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, when we set out, we both wanted to, build something bigger than ourselves. So, knowing that we're putting something wonderful in the world that will hopefully, last for generations. And, hopefully when a little kid gets a new puppy, they're thinking of getting St. Rocco's first. So that's a really cool thing. And I know that's what we're both striving for, is something that team's proud to be a part of. We're proud to have built. Yeah, something we feel good about bringing to the world. So
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story and how you got here, all the twists and turns, and turning COVID-19 and all of those problems into something that is so magical for your business. I know it changed the world for everyone, and y'all made something good out of it, which is so cool. And I'm just so grateful that we came across y'all and we were introduced to y'all's treats because it definitely has changed our life. And I want, like every dog mom in the world needs to learn about these treats and the food because it will change your dog's life. And it's just so cool. And I'm so glad that y'all came on and shared your story. So thank you so much.
Yeah, do you guys have any announcements? That's something new that you're working on that you want the audience to know about?
the holiday box.
yeah, we have a lot going on this holiday season. We've created our first, St. Rocco's bundle box for this holiday. It's going to be designed specifically for your dog with your dog's name on it. We think it's an excellent stocking stuffer for your furry friend this holiday season.
And when is that going to be launching?
That's launching next Friday. It's launching on Black Friday.
Awesome.
So everybody needs to go get that holiday box. Even if you don't have a dog, you definitely know someone with a dog, so they will love it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a perfect gift.
Thank you for ending with that fun surprise. And thank you again for sharing your story. And if you're looking for more information on St. Rocco's, where can people find you guys?
You can go to our website, strocco'streats.shop. From there, you can find local stores near you. We're, all around the Mid-Atlantic, in Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, New York. We're growing, so it might take some time to get in your local store, but we deliver right to your home. There's various ways you can find St. Rocco's, but the best start is, learning from our website and seeing where you can navigate from there.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Kolby and Kaleb. And I hope that y'all enjoyed listening about St. Rocco's Streets. Bye.